Life was filled with guns and war, and everyone got trampled on the floor.
Thought I'd gone a bit quiet, didn't you? No, I've just gone camping and I can't post while I'm up here. I can't get internet, which is good. It's kind of why I come up here. It's really nice. It's really quiet. There's no one else here. People pop in and out, but if you sort of put out the vibe, you want to be left alone, you get left alone, and that's sort of what I do. I needed to come up here to be with the Lord alone. I've got a lot going on. And I just needed to get back to basics and just be alone with the Lord. So, I've said on previous videos that I feel there's a physical connection between water and Christ. Now, in the Old Testament, I'm sort of seeing, I don't know, I'm just getting this vibe of this story of a seed from Isaac and Abraham and Jacob. And Jacob was like the miracle birth, like because Abraham and Sarah just waited, like Sarah was over 100 or something. And they just trusted the Lord, and that was Jacob. So Jacob was like the miracle birth sort of thing, which links back to Christ. So I've sort of just been, all this stuff's just sort of starting to come to me. Anyway, I've always said I feel there's a physical link between us, Christ, and water, like water's that link. And I can't get past Exodus 15. Like, Exodus 15, I've got so much to say on Exodus 15. It's absolutely crazy. So my favourite chapter in the Bible recently has been Revelation 13, because it seems to be outlining what's going on today, like the beast coming out of the sea. And this is what I want to get to, the sea. It's all over the Bible, the sea, the water, this link. This beast comes out of the sea, and Revelation ends the way Genesis starts, the deep, the water. And this beast comes out of the sea, and that's the Vatican and I believe the dragon. So the second beast is the United States, that system they've got in there now, the people that have overtaken that country. And I believe the dragon is like a, how do you say, it's like the information flow, the news media, the internet, the matrix. That's how it manifests, this world we find ourselves in, this spell that everybody's under. You vibing me? You vibing me? That's what I think the dragon is. So Revelation 13 has really captured my attention, but now I found Exodus 15. So Exodus 15 is absolutely incredible. So the Red Sea thing just happened. So God split the sea for the Israelites as they were released from bondage out of Egypt. So he parted the Red Sea, God did, and the Israelites escaped bondage, right? Which I feel is what's going on with me now, by the way. I feel like all this revelation that's coming to me, the way that God's talking to me now, I feel like I've been released from bondage, because I now realise the world we live in, the whole thing, the whole economic system, the whole lot, is just their world. It's everyone has to live in it. But when you find Christ, and when you get to where I'm sort of at the moment, you just realise it's all just a spell. And that's what they do. They weave spells. Anyway, chapter 15. So Exodus 15. So he parts the Red Sea, and the whole thing's the reason I bring up Revelation 13 is because this is just the complete opposite. It's just glorifying God. It's just like what's going to happen after Revelation 13 unfolds. That's what Exodus 15 is. And it's all about water, and it's just triumphant in the Lord the whole way through. It's just triumph, he 6, thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. You know, and it's just absolutely just glorifying God as he just destroys our enemies. You know, and then it talks about all the talks right through it about how the Egyptians were just obliterated by water in the Red Sea. And then it comes to the end, and it's just, you're like, whoa, there's this massive twist at the end. So I think I've got it here, Exodus 15:22. So Moses brought Israel down from the Red Sea. So Israel's the Israelites, most persecuted people. I've been over this in previous videos. The Israelites are the most persecuted people in the world. So think about all those Asians that have to live in horrendous conditions, you know, because no one gives a shit about them, and the way the Negroes are treated, and the way the Aboriginals are treated, you know. You're talking about the 12 tribes here. This is and they're spread out throughout the earth, as per the Tower of Babel. But I know the Tower of Babel happened before it, so I don't know. But anyway, so Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness. And they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. I'm just going to read this through. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? Like, whoa. So this whole chapter is glorifying the Lord as he just obliterates his enemies in the Red Sea. And he cried unto the Lord, and the people murmured against Moses, because they're in the wilderness. Saying, what shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree which he hath cast into the waters, and the waters were made sweet. There he made them a statute, and in ordinance there he proved them. And said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and they do that which is right in his sight, and he will give ear to his commandments and keep all his statutes. That wasn't statue before, by the way, that was statute. Phew, that was confusing. But no, that's gone away. It's statutes. And I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. Okay, so the God's just got through, just obliterated his enemies. He's put them into the wilderness, and he said, don't worry, don't stress. I'm just going to give you the sweetest of sweet waters. And so this is the last verse. So this is Exodus 12:27. And they came to Elim, which were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. How good does it get? How good's that? I'm just all these light globes are just going off for me at the moment. I've got so much to say, and I think each video I do, like, I don't want to promise heaps of videos or nothing, but I just feel like I've just got so much to capture at the moment. So some of these videos might be a bit all over the shop with what I'm trying to say, because I think this one, the theme, the water, you know, it's all about, there's so much going on there. Right? You could sit here and talk about this shit for hours. Just Exodus 15. It's just monumental. It's just mammoth. I've never read anything like it in my life, given where I am now. I've just been taken out of bondage. A lot of my, I don't know, this one just come to me, but a lot of my videos are on the beach, you know, and the Lord's brought me back home here to the Central Coast, which is on the coast of Australia, you know, and the Bible starts as it finishes, all about water, you know, the deep, all that sort of stuff. And here the whole thing's about him being glorified after just obliterating his enemies, the 12 tribes of Israel, forever under persecution, forever under bondage. And he did it with water. Water was the parable into the wilderness, you know. So the wilderness to me, the wilderness points to me to your faith. God just can't do everything for you. You've got to go out and do it. You've got to go out and do it yourself. And just know that God's there with you, and you've got to listen to God. You have to listen to God and not just go, oh, that's a coincidence. No. You listen to God. You don't try and make up what God says. You listen to him because he manifests. He just makes shit happen. That's why he's God. So, water, Exodus 15. I'm camping. I've got like 100 sermons. I've got my Bible. I've got all this reflecting to do. I've got all these learnings to do. I've got shit to read about the covenant. The video I did the other day about the covenant. I've got shit to read about that. I've just got, I really want to get through Exodus because I want to get through, Jeremiah keeps speaking to me, so I want to get to Samuel and all that, so I'm not sure where I'm going to go after Exodus, but I know what the Lord's trying to tell me is in Exodus, and Exodus 15 could have been it, because it's turned a major light globe on for me. So, Exodus 15. What else can I say?